what's up everybody? How you doing today? Today is July 3rd, and hope you're having a happy 4th of July weekend. I know I had a pretty productive one, pretty good weekend, and hang on just a second. There we go, that's a little better. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So yeah, I'm having a good weekend, and I'm just going on a little bit of a road trip, so got some time to burn, I guess you could say. So I figured I would try to experiment a little bit with Periscope. See if we can get anybody watching, see if we can get anybody to say hi, see if anybody has any topics of discussion they wanted to bring up. You know, I gotta just kind of keep my eye in the chat, but I gotta watch the road. But if anybody brings up anything, or if I say something that's interesting enough where somebody wants to bring up a topic, I'll try to keep my eye out for it. So this, just in case you've never seen my channel, or I don't know if you subscribe to me on Twitter or whatnot, but I'm a politically centered channel and pretty much cover news and politics. So that's what I intend on covering right now, is some news and politics. If anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to jump in at any time. My Twitter is at reviewtheearth.com. Excuse me for a second, I got a little frog in my throat. Got my Kofefe here, as per usual. But yeah, I just wanted to run down some news and current events. So, saw something earlier today out of Cernovich and InfoWars about Rex Tillerson back-alleying with somebody from the State Department to ban or to circumvent the ban on the migrant immigration ban, travel ban thing. So Tillerson is now, you know, in more question. I think we gave Trump the benefit of the doubt a little bit. The Trump people did anyways, when he put Tillerson in, even though Tillerson was from a major gas company. But it appears now that there may be something going on. I'm going to have to rewatch the video. It's a little bit confusing with the names and such. I'm not exactly used to that. But very interesting that some dirt on Tillerson. So to anybody watching who doesn't really know my political bent, I am a Trump supporter, but I'm not a Trump sycophant, I guess you could say. And I want to keep him honest. And I don't enjoy globalism as a whole. So doing my channel, doing my YouTube, doing all this stuff to try to get a conversation going, get some dialogue going between people. I really want to hashtag heal the divide. I was talking to somebody yesterday on Twitter, and we were kind of going back and forth a little bit, and I was telling them, you know, the bickering, we need to try to stop bickering so much and just generally try to get along with each other and try to discuss ideas. So I try to be very open-minded. I try to, you know, not bash anybody too bad, but I am a Trump supporter, so I will preface with that. So I see that there's one person watching. If you have any questions or you want me to cover something or ask anything, go for it right now. But I'm just going to keep rolling with some politics. I am going to we'll talk about Obamacare for a minute. Now, I have this theory about good cop, bad cop with Rand Paul and with Trump. From the beginning, I've pretty much thought that Rand Paul was right about the new American Healthcare Affordability Act, whatnot, the ACJ, I think it is. The new version of that, anyway, you know, that was put through the House, I was definitely not in favor of. The version, but it did pass eventually, not the first time, but it did pass the second time to the House. Now it's in the Senate, of course, and there's 4 main Republican senators blocking it right now, who should be hailed as heroes in my book, and the other, 44 of them, we need to start writing them down on a list and figuring out who they are and get them out of there, because they're probably, or at least examine them a little bit better, because they're probably more corporatist in nature. These people don't have we the people's best interest at heart, I don't think. I think Rand Paul does. Just because he wants to repeal it doesn't mean he wants people dying in the streets. He just wants it gone because it's the best thing for the country and triage it at the moment. And I tend to believe him on that. No. But on the other hand, I almost want to see nothing happen with it. I almost want to see it totally crash and burn so that everybody that supported it or everybody that thought it was a good idea can know that that was not a good idea. And the people that spoke up about it at the time and came through with honest, solid, logical arguments that you told that we're going to have people dying in the streets again, like, just give us a little bit of credit, a little bit of props for calling it what it was when we saw it, which was bad stuff. So, you know, I kind of want to see it just crash and burn and let the people deal with it. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be a terrible, terrible tragedy to let it continue as it is. But I'm almost in favor of that, just so the people can get their medicine. That's what they wanted. That's what they voted for. That's what they put people in there for. So let them feel what socialism feels like, how it's going to implode on itself, and, you know, help damage the economy. And now it's the Republicans' fault for trying to save it. You know, it was like a time bomb planted by them and the willing people that went along with it. Unbelievable. I mean, I was outspoken against it from day one. It's just a mess. And we could have done other things. We could have fixed Obamacare in other ways. I mean, not fixed Obamacare, but when, you know, proposed better legislation than Obamacare. There was plenty of other things that could be done. Tort reform is just one off the top of my head. But there was many other things that could be done except for Obamacare. Like, for example, I used to have a health savings account. And on my health savings account, I was able to put money into it every week, tax-free. And then I was able to take that and go buy Band-Aids or, you know, a knee splint or ankle brace, back brace, medical equipment, prescriptions, dentist appointments, chiropractic. Use it for anything. So I could take my own money out before taxes, put that in a health savings account, and I could use that. And that's all I needed. All right? That's all I needed. And I was good for the most part. Well, that and catastrophe insurance, because catastrophe insurance is not really good without something to pay for catastrophe insurance. So if you don't have any savings or a health savings account, it doesn't do a whole lot of good, or you're really getting a pickle. So the whole thing is a giant catastrophe debacle. It was a bad idea from the beginning. You guys on the side who was for it should have known better. You wouldn't listen to logical reason arguments. And so I almost think that we all should get what we deserve for having participated in the democratic process of putting someone in who was begging to do this. Now, I understand that McCain would have probably been not much better. So it really wasn't, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But if that was the central issue of the election, and I did vote for McCain, puke my guts out, one of the worst mistakes of my life. I should have just voted for none of the above or anything else. Because McCain is a piece of garbage, total traitor piece of garbage too. So you've got two traitorous pieces of garbage running against each other. But I on the healthcare issue, and I was younger and getting into politics. I was a little fresher back then, so I was kind of a young political mistake I chalk it up to. And I tell people about it and, you know, look to repent for that. But yeah, I voted for McCain basically to stop Obamacare. That was it. And I realized that was wrong because McCain's horrible. So bad on both sides. And now we got someone who's actually trying to do something about it, and everybody hates him. It's unreal to me. I just don't understand it at all. What do they want? Do they want to do nothing? If you guys on the left want to do nothing, I'm down for that, by the way. Like I said, just let it burn. Burn, baby, burn. We'll watch it. We'll ride that thing all the way down to the end so you can know that it was a horrible idea. Like, at what point will you turn around and start looking at logical, reasonable arguments on the other side of things, instead of just screaming about you know, people dying in the streets or other things that that side of the argument tends to just scream about and make nonsensical, baseless arguments and accusations. So that's my take on, well, a little bit of rambling about Obamacare, but the thing I think should happen right now, and it's awesome, the president finally made a tweet about that, which was about getting rid of, he's now ready, to start cheerleading the repeal and replace later plan, which is great. I think that's probably the best thing. I don't know if they're going to be able to repeal it, though. They do and should have the votes, but these people are jackals. They are backstabbing those Republicans I'm talking about. These corporatist, neocon, globalist Republicans that are in there probably won't go along with it, which is a shame. Again, we need to start making these lists, right? I'm working on it. We're going to identify all these people and do something about it instead of just bitch. Like, instead of just me getting on here and bitching about stuff, I'll come on here and I will be able to have some action, because that's what we need, is activism and action towards these things. And we need to work with the other parties too. So speaking of other parties, I'll go ahead and trickle into the Green Party and or factions of any sort of sane leftism. The sane left, the sane progressives, those people, the people that are not social justice warrior-y type Democrats or neoliberal Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Democrats, right? We need people that are not that, but are the sane left, and we need to nurture the sane left, and we need to say, even though we maybe disagree about a certain number of things, we have to hold the sane parties up to a higher standard than the rest. So as long as you can talk to me and we can have a conversation and we don't start screaming at each other and you don't accuse me of wanting to people die in the streets or racism or Islamophobism or religiousism even. I got somebody added me on a list of religious phobes. And I even told the guy before he did that I was a believer. I'm a spiritual person. So it's total BS that he added me to this list. But I've been called it all, and I've been called a Nazi. I've been through the whole gamut. So as long as you don't do that to me, because that is not what I am, and that's just an unfair, baseless attack on me without having any sort of proof, you could say. As long as we can have a conversation and typically be rational, and then, maybe agree to disagree, because I'm fine with that. We need to fix this, and the people that are causing all the trauma to our country are the neoliberals and the neoconservatism, the mainline corporatist party that has kept us in a perpetual war and poverty for so long. They've got to go. And people on the left and the right are waking up to the reality that we're all getting hosed really bad, and we're starting to figure out who is really responsible for it, which is the key part. So, yes, I want to reach out to the left. I want to hashtag heal the divide. I want to talk. I'm more interested in talking to them at this point than just talking to inner circle friends and things like that, because we have our frat boy parties, where we go on and have a little victory lap about good things that are going on, and we laugh and have a beer over the Trumpisms and stuff like that. But really, that's just a victory lap, and that's not doing us a whole lot of good. It'll gravitate a little people towards our cause, but the people that are already on our side, like what we have to do is become. We have to, I believe, reach out to the left and say, well, I agree with you on this issue. I agree with you on this issue. And I'm working on a platform of issues right now on my website, which you can't see because it's in the construction behind the fake scenes. I am desperately trying to work on this website, which will Venn diagram, if you will, many certain aspects of issues that I believe the sane left and the sane right can get together on and or trade off on a sort of basis. Like, if you help scratch our back over here, maybe we'll help scratch your back over here. For example, okay, Paul Ryan needs to go. So being that I am a Trump supporter, Trump voter, but I'm not a Republican sycophant, I guess you could say, Paul Ryan needs to go. Paul Ryan needs to go. So, in 2018, we got to get, this is, okay, so we got the election taken care of for 2016. Midterms are right around the corner. We got a year and a half now. 6 months already gone. So the midterms are coming up sooner than we all would think. So we got to start planning right now about what we're going to do. So Paul Ryan needs to go. So the first thing we need to do, I don't live in Wisconsin, but I can still tweet out about it and support the cause, right? So the first thing that we need to do is we need, in my opinion, on the right, and so on both sides, right or left, you pick your candidate on the left, and we try to pick a different candidate on the right and run them in the primary and try to flush Ryan out that way, and then we have a fair election. If that happens, we can have just a left-right election, and whoever wins, right? So no big deal there. But Paul Ryan will most likely win the primary, and upon winning the primary, he'll have to face a Democratic opponent. Now, if I support the Democratic opponent very verbally against Paul Ryan, maybe the left will support somebody on the right in a different race, like Maxine Waters or Nancy Pelosi or other people. Maybe we can start to network with the left and use each other, scratch each other's backs a little bit, right? That's how we really win. We made a big victory by getting Trump in there, in my opinion. I know everybody's not going to agree with me there, but so we did score a big victory there, not as far as getting stuff done, but just as a dam for a while to stop what was happening and stop future happenings. At least he's putting a halt on that program, you know. And he might not get a lot done. He might just be a kind of a centrist reformist, if you will. So he may not get a lot done, maybe. Seems like he's getting a lot done, but he's just kind of a moderate centrist reformist, really. That's kind of what he is. So we got a little bit of time, and in this time we need to work with each other. Like I said, Maxine Waters needs to go. Nancy Pelosi needs to go. Paul Ryan needs to go. Many Republicans need to go. And if that means putting Democrats in, I very well, depending on, case-by-case basis, I would very well be willing to go with the Democrats rather than these Republicans on principle. Because if they do not get the message here shortly that we don't want them, like, they need to have that. They need to change their tune, and they need to start working a little bit with Trump and do what's right for the country, and Rand Paul, and do what's right for the country. Listen to their guidance. And if you're not doing that, if you're speaking out against them, then we got to get rid of you. And if we have to vote a Democrat in there to do it, so be it. And but I will not vote for a Democrat or support one that's just totally out of their mind loony, because that's not going to do anything. But if it's like the guy that's going against Paul Ryan or trying to get traction against Paul Ryan, he's a blue-collar construction worker, union guy from Wisconsin. Got no problem with that. Probably don't agree with his politics, but I can guarantee you someone like that, just a regular Joe, is better than stupid Paul Ryan. We have to get rid of Paul Ryan. It's imperative to get rid of Paul Ryan. So there's that. So I think I'm going back to the reach out. We need to reach out to each other. We need to respect each other's sides. We need to not just completely crap on the other side every chance we get, or say how much better we are than the other side. We really need to try to work on it. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else about it, okay? I mean, I understand that there's a slight edge of hypocrisy to what I'm saying, because as I'm a human, I think we're all a little hypocritical. but it doesn't mean that we can't change. You know, it doesn't mean that we can't come to a realization that fighting each other and getting so upset with each other just isn't working, you know? So there's that. I guess that's my take on working with each other. So we covered Obamacare, we covered working with each other. I guess we should cover Trump's tweet. I guess, you know, I've already said that I'm a Trump supporter, Trump fan, so I am thinking that the tweet was a great thing. I loved it. And watched it go up in numbers yesterday, skyrocket, like nothing I've ever seen on Twitter. It basically, the first time I saw it, it had like, and it was only 2 hours after it had been tweeted, it had like 150,000 likes on it and like, you know, 90,000 retweets or something. And then later, it got up to 274,000 likes. And then 15 minutes later, 280,000 likes. And the last I saw it last night, it was almost up to, it was like 489,000 likes. And I've never seen a tweet that big. But I've only been in Twitter for a year, so I'm not saying that, you know, absolutely know that that's the case or whatnot. But, yeah. So, the tweet was wonderful. It was a great thing, I think. People are saying, you know, excuse me. People are saying it's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, I don't think it's a waste of time at all. I think it's really fun. I think it's captivating. It's entertaining. It's just jolly good fun. It's controversy. It's punk rock, you know. And people have been saying, well, why doesn't he start putting some charts and stuff on there? He has been. If you pay attention to his feed, he's actually been putting some charts on there a little bit. I mean, he's not going full on pro or anything, but I think he's doing a good job, and I'm still very much in support of him. So yeah, love and the Mika tweets. Well, since we're talking about tweeting and Trump's Twitter feed, I'll talk about a couple other things. Mika, low IQ Mika, dumb as a rock Mika, and Psycho Joe, they're getting called out, and deservedly so, because they are fake news, just like CNN, or FNN, sorry, it's FNN now, Fraud News Network. It's been officially named by the God Emperor Toad. Fraud News Network. So, MSNBC is pretty much fraud too, but I mean, it's not fraud. I mean, fraud is definitely stronger than fake news. So, CNN is very fake news and or fraud news. And then you've got MSNBC, which is just fake news. And they can stay in there with fake news NBC, and fake news ABC, and fake news CBS, and many other, New York Times, Washington Post. They're all fake news. And I could go along with the song, you know. The New York Times, you are fake news. Washington Post, you are fake news. CNN, very fake news. So anyways, yes, very fake news. So I thought those were awesome. Bleeding, faceless Mika begging. I mean, this is the part that's really disturbing to me. The fact that they spent about a year and a half, 2 years, completely bashing the guy into complete oblivion. You know, bashing Trump daily, lying about him, concocting all sorts of just BS to try to hatchet job his campaign, just like every other fake news network, right? So why, if they did that, why were they partying at Mar-a-Lago on New Year's Eve after having a facelift first? Sounds like they were partying, so like I can't say that factually that they were drinking or something, but they were hobnobbing, it sounds like. So why would they want to hobnob with Trump if they hate him so much? Why are they begging to hang out with him? And why would they think that Trump would ever want to hang out with their sorry butts? Like, why? Why would anyone want to hang out with them, or somebody, after they've been continuously bashed for a year and a half? they're not only fake news, they're fake people. And there's something to Psycho Joe. There's a little bit more something to Psycho Joe. That's what that meant. Psycho Joe wasn't just some attack on him, some baseless attack. Psycho Joe means something. Trump has something on Psycho Joe. And Psycho Joe now knows he better clean up his act a little bit. Otherwise, a little bit more tweets might dribble out of there. So Mika, low IQ Mika, which is true, you are dumb as a box of rocks, Mika. From what I've seen, you didn't have no place on television. MSNBC to put you on there is fake news. Same with Scarborough. You're both totally fake news. So deserved there too. And people saying, oh, he's attacking, he's a pig. That clip of MSNBC saying he's a pig is just disgusting. That dude's just a total. And why would you put him on there? And you got Michael Hastings' wife on that show. That is creeping me out. I don't know about anyone else. I would love to talk to Joe Biggs privately about that woman, Elise. Something is her name. Elise Jordan is her name. Yeah. And very creepy, man. Very creepy with her suicide bomber comment, with her husband blowing up in a car in very odd circumstances. Her husband was Michael Hastings, a very well-known, incredible journalist. Very bizarre. All very, 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 very bizarre. So, yeah, that morning show explosion that happened, that dude lost his mind on there talking about how much he hated Trump and he was going to go low and then even go even lower. He didn't care if they ever had him back in the show because it was his time to dump on Trump, you know. But they just let it go on. At least tried to say something. At least the person who called Donald Trump basically a suicide bomber, she's there to moderate and tone him down. What a joke. What a failing pile of garbage. Failing pile of garbage. Yeah, I mean, I just love it. I love calling out the fake news. There's nothing worse than that damn fake news. Nothing. That fake TV and that fake news and all the fake shows on TV and all that is just a bunch of crap, bunch of bull crap. And cut the cord. If you haven't already, save your soul and get rid of the TV altogether. You will never miss it. Never, 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 never. I mean, you might peel it off and miss it for a few days, a week maybe. But not too long. Yeah, so I haven't passing me on the right, dude. People just drive me nuts. I'm trying to get over because there's a lane blockage here, and I got this dude passing me on the right. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you pass on the right? People drive me nuts, man. These drivers just drive me crazy. Don't let him in, Maryland. Like, oh, he's going to get blocked, and he's going to want to cut in front of me now because he was too dumb to get behind me and realize you can't pass on the right if there's a traffic ahead. Look at this. So dumb. Just a total idiot. Like, unbelievable. Stupid. Some people, you know. It's just, this is going too slow for me. Sorry. So, let's see. Tweets, tweet. What else is going on? Interesting. I don't know, that's probably about all for now. I might try to take a little break, relax the vocal cords here, because I am just going totally off the cuff. So, we'll see if I can get some more Periscope viewers. I am definitely trying to reach out and use different platforms more, cross-platform. So I guess I should plug my thing in case anybody watches this. Twitter, I'm at Review the Earth. Periscope, I'm at Review the Earth. Minds at Review the Earth. Gab at Review the Earth. SoundCloud.com/Review the Earth. ReviewTheEarth.com. Facebook.com/Review the Earth. Spelled DOTCOM. Review the Earth, all one word, lowercase, DOTCOM, like .com spelled out. There's a thing with that. You gotta fix it. But yeah, so that's about all. And I hate driving. This actually makes it go by much faster if I'm engaged in talking and trying to put out content, if you will. So, cheers to you. Drink your Kofefe. I'm gonna have a little bit more. Get my energy level up for this long little trip I have. And it's not too long, but long for me and my bad back. So, God bless everybody. Happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Brexit. #Brexit 1776. And all my English friends, I love you guys. I only have a few of you, but you're very cool, very interesting, and I love to listen to other cultural perspectives and all the people from. We met somebody from Holland now, and it's amazing, man. All this YouTube stuff is just so cool, so fun. So, met a person from Holland, Conscious Caracals from South Africa. So this is definitely becoming a global. We've been talking to people in Cambodia, talking to somebody that's in Eastern Asia. So just people from all over the place getting together, talking positively, hashing out ideas. So I'm not sure how to run Periscope real well. So if anybody has any tips, hit me up at Review the Earth on Twitter. Alright, so I'm going to end this broadcast. Thanks for watching, you guys. And like and subscribe my YouTube channel. That's probably the thing I should plug the most, is my YouTube channel, which is Review the Earth, but it's hard to look it up. So it's youtube.com/C/Review the Earth. So thanks for watching and have a great day.